Okay.
Stand for the. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right, now you can put the music on.
Telling you, Anthony, you know what?
Hey, I love music.
I was disappointed because you weren't there.
I know.
Because
I chickened out.
you are the guitar aficionado.
No,
And you and Jerry Sanafani and,
it's awful
you know,
kind
just,
to say that.
he came out with a Gibson. Then he went to the Fender.
Fender Strat.
Then he went to like just one of those big blues guitars. I don't know, you know, what they call it. It looked like a, you know,
ES 335.
yes, that was what it was.
Yep.
And then at the
Chuck
very,
Berry's guitar.
okay. And then at the end of the show, he came out and he did a 20-minute encore. I mean, 20-minute, he came out and he had this, I call it ZZ Top guitar, you know, the two big fins on it. And he played that and he talked to the crowd. I mean, he said 35 years I've been doing this. And he says that I started it when I was, I think he said 10 or 11. And so he's only like in his mid 40s. And he said, I'm from a little town just like Youngstown called Utica, New York. And he says, and they told me I'd never make it. And I got one thing to say to the people that said that. And he flipped the bird, you know? Yeah. And he said, but I'm telling you, I've never seen him live. And now I'm disappointed that I hadn't, you know, prior to this. So it was pretty cool.
And he used to play Bell Creek Park, the Ample Theater, when it opened up free. He used to come down there. People used to sit in the park. We had concerts. Now
Yeah.
they closed that off too.
He played in Struthers. He stood right by me at the bar ordering a beer. I said, "Who's that?" They said, "Oh, that's the guy playing tonight. His name's Joe Bono, whatever." And now look, that's something.
And if you, the thing that amazed me is I have like no musical talent whatsoever. So everything is impressive to me, believe me. But nothing else was playing but him and the guitar. And if you closed your eyes, you would have thought you were listening to an organ play. I have no idea how he could make a guitar sound like organ music. And the guy playing the keyboards was an old guitar player, or an old keyboard player, an older guy, you know. And they when they introduced the band, and he was Stevie Ray Vaughan's organ player throughout all his heyday, and he's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. The guy that was playing organ, and they had three women that were singers, and each one of the three took a part and did like a 2-3 minute solo. And, you know, the one had just started, he introduced them all. And he says, one lady's just joined his band 3 days ago. She's from Los Angeles, California. And he introduced her. They were beautiful and they were talented. I'm telling you, he played over 2 hours straight and they never moved. I mean, they never left the stage and they danced the whole night. I mean, I don't know how, well, I guess I know how it's youth. They were very young ladies and they were just in sync dancing the whole time. Anyway, I just can't say enough about, other than I bought one drink and it was $22. And it was a little bit, you know.
You made your contribution.
Yeah.
That was good.
Are you serious?
Oh, gosh, yes. You know, a single was 10, a double was 20, and or a double was 18. And I took my brother-in-law there because that was his birthday present from me because he's a huge Joe Bonamassa fan. And I mean, I bought us each one double drink to walk in with before the show started. And it was, with the tip, it was almost $50. I could have bought a handle of Crown Royal for $45, you know, I mean, a 2-liter bottle.
2 cases of beer.
I didn't
So-
think they went up that high
That's
there.
ridiculous.
So anyway, it was expensive. Hey.
Nancy's telling us we gotta get moving.
The lady in red.
Keep the boss.
Who's hollering at me? Okay,
I'm glad you had a good time, Dave. We kind of wish that would win now.
it's good stuff.
Minutes
All
later.
right. Okay, well, let's officially open the meeting. This is our 8th meeting of the year. We are in the Mahoning County Commissioners Hearing Room. It is Thursday, February 22nd. at approximately 10 a.m. And we've already called the meeting to order, and I will ask for a motion of previous minutes and bills for payment. Oh, I'm sorry. Yes, public comments. Thank you, Nancy. I thought we had them already.
I took all the time.
Rose is at the end? Okay. You want to do it at the end?
Yes.
At the end? Okay. Anyone else? Nope. Okay, well, with that being said, Carol, motion?
A motion, approval of previous minutes of board meeting number 7, Thursday, February 15th, 2024, and approval of bills for payment. A motion.
Second,
Roll call?
Commissioner Ditzler?
yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficant?
Yes. Advertisement for bids, number 1.
He's not here.
Lou's not here? All right, I'll do it. Okay, that's recycling. Lou Vega is not with us today. This is residential household hazardous waste collections, which we do every year.
Motion to approve advertisement for bids number 1.
Second,
Roll call?
Commissioner Ditzler?
yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficant?
Yes. Legal notice number 1, sanitary, Pat Genetti or Erica? There she is.
Oops. Good morning, Commissioners. This is a request for a statement of qualifications for professional maintenance service related to the instrumentation systems operational at the Mahoning County Sanitary Engineering Department wastewater treatment plants, pumping stations, water facilities, and other related equipment.
Okay, thank you. Motion?
Motion to approve number 1, legal notices.
Second,
Roll call?
Commissioner Ditzler?
yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficant?
Yes. Motion to approve journal entry?
Motion to approve journal entry number 1.
Second,
Roll call?
Commissioner Ditzler?
yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficant?
Yes, agreements, letters A through E, and I see public relations. Megan,
Good morning,
good
Commissioners.
morning.
Item A is an agreement with City Printing for the printing and mailing of an informational county newsletter and the estimated amount of $36,188.82. And this will be sent to all residents of Mahoning County, and this is general funds.
Thank you, Megan. And Convention Visitors Bureau, Linda.
Good morning. Letter B is an agreement with CTM Media Group for distribution of our 2024 travel guide throughout hotels in Northeast Ohio, as well as attractions in Northeast Ohio, such as the Pro Football Hall of Fame, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Cleveland Aquarium, places like that. And this also includes an ad on their 2024 Northeast Ohio visitor map. And the total is $11,895, non-general.
Thank you, Linda.
Yes.
Here's,
Morning, Commissioners. Letter C is an agreement with Metallico of Youngstown, also known as Metallico of Girard, for our scrap metal collection here.
Frozen, he's
you got
frozen.
frozen in time.
Oh my, just like AT&T's lines.
Everything's messed up today.
Bobby froze. My God. It's
Alan, hit the side of the TV.
It's like
Anyways, agreement with Metallico Youngstown, doing business as Metallico Girard for scrap metal recycling services per unit pricing and non-general. Okay, job and family.
Good morning, Commissioners. Good morning, Audrey. Good morning, Nancy. Letter D, Job and Family Service Agreement with the Sheriff's Office for CSEA 4D process server in the amount of $92,185.90. FFP reimbursement, $60,842.69. This is non-general. Letter E, Job and Family Service Amendment number 1 to the Memorandum of Understanding with the Sheriff's Office to extend background checks and fingerprinting services until December 31st, 2024, at no change in the amount. General fund. Non-general, I'm sorry.
Thank you, Audrey. Motion?
Hey, Anthony.
what?
Hey, Anthony, I don't know if you covered C or not. I'm having terrible connection issues out here, but C is for agreement with Metallico of Youngstown, Metallico of Jar for our scrap metal collection here at our main garage. It's a unit price contract and it's non-general fund.
Thank you, Bob. Thank you. Okay, 3A appointments, commissioners.
Wait, I didn't approve.
Oh, I thought we did.
Motion to approve number 2, agreements A through E.
Second,
Okay, roll call.
Dixon?
yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficant?
Yes, moving on, appointments 3A, commissioners to appoint the following individuals to serve with the Mahoning County Tax Review Council for 2023, effective January 2024. Mr. Fortunato, Jimmy, Dave Klasik, and Scott Satterley. Motion,
Motion to approve number 3, appointments A.
Second,
roll call.
Commissioner Ditzler?
yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficant?
Yes, resolutions.
Motion to approve resolutions number 1, additions.
Second,
Roll call.
Commissioner Ditzler?
yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Wrong resolutions.
Oh, did I say that? No, you're.
No. Sorry.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficant?
Yes.
Jen just thought she missed it.
Oh, okay.
Folded my paper in half, so.
All right, moving on. Resolutions A through D, commissioners OMB.
All
There you
right, so
go.
correct ones. This, commissioners, this is a resolution approving the MOU with Canfield Township and the county engineer, the 2023 OPWC road and bridge upgrade with 2024 sales tax dollars in the amount of $85,269.72.
Thank you. Job and family, Audrey.
Good morning again, Commissioners. Letter B, Job and Family Service. This is a resolution approving the collective bargaining agreement with Ohio Council 8 AFSCME, AFL-CIO AFSCME Local 3577, effective January 1st, 2024.
Thank you. Sanitary, Erica.
Letter C, sanitary, resolution of necessity to purchase 3 2024 Ford F-150 trucks from National Fleet Auto Group. They're doing business as 72 Hour LLC. This is through the Sourcewell State Purchasing Program in the estimated amount of $144,021.48.
Okay, thank you, Erica. And Sheriff, Mr. Iberis, good morning.
Morning, everyone. D is a resolution declaring a surplus vehicle, a 2013 Ford 250 utility vehicle, and authorizing the transfer to the Board of Elections. That's in accordance to ORC 307.12D.
Thank you. Motion.
Motion to approve number 2, resolutions A through D.
Second,
Roll call.
Commissioner Ditzler?
yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati? Commissioner Trafficant?
Yes, for the good of the order, and the elected officials or department heads care to comment? Oh, well. Linda? Linda?
Anything going on this weekend?
Yeah, let's see.
She's,
Linda, can you hear me?
she probably. might
She
not.
probably-
She probably
Yes, I can
signed up.
hear you. I'm here.
Anything going on this weekend?
Well, let me call up our calendar. As David said, great concert last night, at Cavelli. But give me a second and I can get to hopefully our events calendar. We were, just
He's
like
coming.
Bob was having issues, we were having issues this morning. I don't know.
Jerry's.
I'll let you know while you're waiting. Little bottom also.
Agree.
Okay, well, this weekend, this Saturday but I believe it's sold out. So if you've got your tickets, be ready for cookie tables and cocktails. The Historical Society's big fundraising event. That's a great event every year. The Dave and Ed Super Swap Meet is out at the Canfield Fair for you car enthusiasts. David, maybe if you're looking for something.
Swap.
It's the car meet for a while.
Yes.
Car parts. Wait till it rings, then we have it.
On Sunday, there is, Dr. Luzono gives his lecture series at the Butler Art. And again, it's a good time to get out there and see the beautiful display for the beautiful exhibit for Black History Month. And let's see. That's kind of where we are right now. Oh, if anyone's a Harry Potter fan, the Collingwood Center in Camel is having a Harry Potter night. Not quite sure. There's music and special performances and things like that. So, and of course, the Phantoms are in town on Saturday night. So you can take advantage of that.
Can't be bored. There's a lot.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Well, with that being said, I'm going to ask our dear friend, Rose Carter, to come on up and let us know what's going on. That mobile market and
I
everything
am so
else.
sorry.
Let's do a Black History.
Or Black History Month, whatever.
Administrative assistant is
Nobody told me.
in surgery, so I only have
Oh,
three.
Three, that's perfect.
Okay, you.
Thank you. That's a power. Thank you.
Thank
Just a
you.
little information.
So you know that means red is the power of women. And men are the
Yeah,
follow.
I just don't have
and
my
the men-
power jacket
And the men
on.
are the
I gave it to
follow
you.
alongs.
Yeah. But I am excited about being here. I've really never had, the opportunity to actually be here, so I'm gonna have to come. I like the way that you do your, everything is just precise. BB's gotta be, you gotta have some Bobby Blue Bland and some,
Man.
I'm a
that's
blues.
moving.
I'm a blues person.
Rose, you know what?
Yeah.
When I was at Thomas Steel and I used to go to Memphis and I'd have to drive to Oxford, Mississippi. And I have so many stories I could tell you. I met Morgan Freeman in a restaurant. It was amazing. But anyway, I went to BB King's on Beale Street in Memphis. And I just happened to be there staying overnight to drive to Oxford the next morning. And I went in there and there was this very big, large African-American man. Okay. I mean, and he made like you, me and Carol together.
Good, thank you. I was getting ready.
And I walked in there and he's sitting there and just on stage, people are just coming in because it was a restaurant, and it had a nice stage, it had tables, it had a loft up top. You looked over and I walked up to him and he's sitting here and he's getting his guitar ready and stuff. And I went, I love guitar, I love blues. And I'm talking to him. He leaned over, started talking to me for about 5 minutes. He goes, "Oh, I'm glad you're here. Have you heard me play before?" And I said, "No." And he says, "Well, you're in for a treat," and he was nice as could be, right? Talking to me like you and I are. And I walked away and I said to the woman that was at the door there, because I think it was like $5 to get in. And I said, "What's his name?" And she said, "You know who that is?" And I said, "No." And he says, "It's Blind Mississippi Mud." And I said, "What?" And he goes, "Yeah, they call him Mississippi Mud and he's blind." And I said, "He's blind?" I talked to him for she goes, he can make some figures out, but he's totally blind. And I sat there for 2 hours listening. I Googled him. He's got Grammy Awards out the wazoo. I mean, he was amazing. And so I always, whenever I went to visit, I was visiting an ammunition company. It was in Oxford, Winchester down there. And I always scheduled it around. I'd look and see who was at BB King's on Beale Street. And I'd make sure I went in the night before, stayed there, got to go eat barbecue, watch
Gotta have
somebody
some
play.
ribs.
But that was, you're right. It's such amazing music.
Saturday mornings, it's the blues on. Tanya's gone and I just put the blues on and I just clean and clean. It is wonderful.
God bless you.
But I want to, first of all, thank you. Thank the commissioners for over $300,000 for the mobile market. We did probably about 20,000 families out of the $25 vouchers that the commissioners gave us. Others gave, but you gave us $150,000 the first year. and then another 150. I just said, I'm running out of money. I need money. And Carol and Ditzler and Trafficante, I just do. See, I know Carol, I got it, you know. But
A lot of years.
they gave us that money and we were able to feed the people. The truck is down in Sebring. We go to Copeland Oaks because one of the stipulations on the grant was the fact that we went over the whole county. The city gave us a little bit of money, but the commissioners gave it to us. We do not make any money. Hi, how are you? Realize who you are. I'm Rose Carter and I'm with Action and I have the mobile truck. And that's just a little bit of information about us, but I wanted you to know, now we're in the schools. And one of the things I looked at is that we go to the schools. We went to the schools out in the county. And one of the things is the kids were buying apples and oranges and ice cream, stuff like that. But when we went in the city, those youth were buying steaks and shrimp. We have all that on the truck. They were actually thinking about their families. And that's what we have on the truck. I don't have anything that is secondhand. We have everything thanks to Jeff Magada, who runs the truck. I just pay out the money. I just make sure that everything is taken care of. And I want to tell you, we did just in the first year, over 17,000 families and veterans. And you will see it in your paperwork that I sent to you. One of the things I wanted to say, I'm an old lady. It's
Never.
okay. You know, it's okay to have our young people. I love having young people and new people come in. But it's something about the tried and true seniors, those that have been on the battlefield. And these commissioners and Mahoning Valley commissioners have been on the battlefield. Now, I'm a preacher, so, you know, I gotta do all this. But what I'm saying is, and I'm not telling, we have a new program now, which we're doing grant. It's a re-grant program. We got a little over 20,000 in order to push voting. So I'm telling the people, get out and vote. I'm not telling you who to vote for, but what I'm telling you is to vote for the people that you know have been tried and true and are on the ground. The grassroots people. Bring in some new people is fine, but don't forget the wisdom of us old people.
Amen.
Amen on that one.
She can't boss me around. Yeah, Tanya's my daughter that bosses me around. But this 80-year-old woman can tell you a few things about organizing and doing things for this community. I was down, and I'm gonna be quick. I was down at the governor's mansion. I got a chance to go to the governor's mansion a couple weeks ago. And the first thing he said is that mobile lady.
No kidding.
And that was okay.
Yeah.
Because our mobile concept was from the watermelon people, the chicken people. I'm born on the Sharon line. So therefore, that's where the concept came from. So I am just saying, yeah, this is Black History Month. But I'm Black 365 days. I'm Black if it's a leap year. I am Black all the time. And I'm James Brown. I'm proud and I'm Black. Remember that?
Yes.
Yes, yes. So what I'm saying is, it is great to bring in new people. It's great to bring in young people. But don't forget those of us that have sat and have been grassroots, have been on the ground, have looked at it. You were excellent. I watched you all three. I'll be on next week.
Thanks.
Preaching, yeah. So, but what I want to say, Audrey, to you, to all of you, to the commissioners, and I'm not just saying that because they're all my friends. I'm saying it because I have seen what they have done over the years. And so I want you all to give them a hand clap. That's what we do. Any question? One of the things, Action is a nonprofit organization. We're a little over 20, next year we'll have our 25th anniversary. Started by Father Noga, Eleanor Felder, and I believe
Fada.
Eleanor.
Father Fada and Eleanor Felder, and also, who was it? Pat Rosenthal.
Yes.
Yeah, Pat. They saw what we needed. And Action isn't going away. I've been going to retire for 5 years and I'm still, there's things to do. What would I do? But what I'm saying, we're having our next anniversary on next year. But this year, we're at our 21st banquet, and it's going to be at Mount Carmel. John Paul Roble is going to be one of the speakers. We're going to honor Larry Molinterno. Help me out with these names.
Larry Molinterno.
Yeah, Molinterno.
Anthony and Carol, I have to give you those Italian names.
Yeah. So I'm hoping that Dion Dowdy, there's several others.
Wayne Piccirilli.
Wayne Piccirilli.
Yeah.
And what we did, our theme is to honor those men and women who have made a difference with mental illness and with addiction. And so Lola Simmons with Home for Good, of which I started.
And I brought my checkbook because I knew you were coming to see if I can make sure that I get.
Yes, right. I'll take checks, cash, whatever. I don't have a problem.
You already got
with it.
mine.
Yes, absolutely. But thank you. Yeah, we already got your table. Thank you so much for having me for the Black History this month. And you couldn't have a better person because I'm Black 365 days. All right.
No, you're amazing, 365 days.
We had more Rose Carters, the world would be a hell of a lot better place. Thank you very, very, and I mean that.
Thanks for coming, Rose. I remember back then.
Oh, back then.
We were at St. Pat's, St. Ed's, and St. Luke's.
St. Luke's, that was it. Just right quickly, Father Fada.
If I remember.
Yeah,
God
Father
rest his
Fada
soul.
said, and to let you know,
Answer.
Father Fada was one of my icons.
St.
I mean,
Luke's,
I
right?
loved him. We
Yes.
had a public meeting there at St. Luke's.
Yes.
And I told Father Fada, I said, hey, I need a white boy up here. When I went to visit him when he was dying, and I went to visit and he remembered, he said, Rosie, I'm still that white boy up there. So I'm just saying that I am nonpartisan, but I'm also for everyone. It does not matter. Thank you.
Thank you, Rose.
Thank you, Rose.
And I remember you held a lot of Action organization meetings
Yes.
there and events at St. Luke's, because I remember when Father was there.
Yes.
And he was in his
Yes.
starting his declining stages. So yeah, it was a good.
St. Luke, St. Pat's.
Yeah.
Basically St. Pat's.
Yeah, basically St.
Luke's-
Pat's because Father
St. Luke's had the
Noga
church there.
was our.
Right.
The auditorium was their church
Yeah.
at that time.
Mhm. Yeah. And then we were at St. Luke's because that's where our office was at.
Right.
Now we have a building, our own building, so I've been with them, this is my 11th year.
Wow.
I'm not going.
Congratulations.
anyplace. Thank you.
Thank you, Rose. Say hello to Tawn, even though we talk on.
I will,
Yeah.
thank you, sir.
Okay, anyone else? Anyone? Dave, Carol, Audrey?
Here's my girl Audrey.
That's
Oh, God.
Audrey Morales.
Yeah.
Waving to you.
Well, thanks for coming, Rose. Your events are always very good
Thank you. Look
every
forward.
time. It's just when I look at back, I look at back 25 years, I went, whoa.
Can't believe it.
I can't believe that it's been that time span.
Yeah, 25,
I mean, you wonder,
1999.
where the hell did all the years go? I mean, it would anything, not only this organization, but others that
Others. exactly.
started back then, that they, it's just
Gone away,
unbelievable.
yeah.
But God has a way of keeping us going.
Yes,
All of us. God willing, that mission that you have helps these young kids in the city. There
Thank
should
you.
be no one in this country that's hungry. No one.
no one.
I don't care who they are. I have to say this, I was at an event last night and ran into a couple people that had children that are at YSU that have received scholarships for music and for different things that they, at schools like guitar, whatever it might be. And they have incentivized the teachers to all leave. So there are no teachers, from what I was told, to teach any of the music students. So that means that our parishes of a lot of us do get YSU students that will play the organ or do Sunday service for us. And I'm thinking to myself, how do you close a whole department down all of a sudden and cut that when, are you gonna cut, and I love sports. So don't think I don't like football and basketball and baseball. But how do you do that in the arts when you're not doing it anywhere else? Oh, my God. I have your number.
No, you're doing it.
Yeah. So that was very, and I have a tickle, but that was very upsetting.
That's one of the things we're working on.
I was so upset about that. I says, get me all the information and the financial stats if you can, because I just don't think that's fair.
Dana School of Music. I mean, Dana,
Yeah,
we've always had Dana.
I mean, we have some,
unbelievable.
I mean,
One of the best in the country, always
Best.
was.
Exactly.
Always
Amanda
was.
Beagle, she
Mhm.
made it to Miss Universe.
Yeah.
Opera singer, the best. I could tell you hundreds of musicians that started here in the valley. DePiro, started here. O'Neill.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what we're doing is we're losing who we really are here because of some of the craziness. And I know this isn't really, they have to get the politics out of the schools. I would never run for school board because I'm a politician. Okay, not saying that when you run for school board, that's not a political run, but you need to be an educator. You need to know what our children need. And when you hire people at highest salaries in the world, I mean, and then you're getting rid of teachers that teach our young people. I mean, I'm with the teachers on this one.
Yeah.
I'm with the professors and the educators. I just was very, very upset about that. They're not gonna have the plays that they used to have. I used to go to down at the YSU, in the arts program. I mean, what are we doing?
Doing,
So we're not gonna help those young people stay in Mahoning County.
right.
I mean, and then tell them you could take a business course, we'll let it go there.
That's not their talent.
I mean, you gotta check that, Jerry. I heard that last night. I was like crazy. When I get my information, I'm gonna pass it on. Cause that really, I mean, that's like you going to school for a music degree and they tell you, well, you're gonna take business because we don't have anybody there. That's craziness. Anyway, that's my spiel for the day. Don't forget to vote. Don't forget justice renewal. And we'll do a little bit on that in a little bit.
One of the things, Carol, that the three of us are involved with is the Mahoning Valley Partnership,
Right.
where we put the $1 million in. And the first phase that goes through the end of this year is the second portion of the 4 phases that this year is going to be focused around is retention, and expansion of the arts and the culture of the Mahoning County and the Mahoning Valley, and I mean, how can you take and have Dior, have all of the things that we grew up. I mean, the sad thing is, what we're doing is, and when you say, Rose, that you're blocked 365 days a year, but you know what, that month, we need to focus, and all of our heritages are going by the wayside. I mean, I'm
Right.
German by descent, not from Germany, but I'm German by descent, or Italian, Puerto Rican, all different things. Our culture, our heritage, our background is all important. And organizations, they hold on to that so that we make sure our children don't lose that and don't forget it. And we just aren't focusing on things that will keep that, and I mean, we grew up, I mean, we all say we're from Youngstown, right? We all say, it doesn't matter whether you're born in Camels, Austintown, Boardman, we're from Youngstown. And Warner Brothers are from Youngstown. I mean, the things that people see nationally, when I say stuff like that to somebody, well, that started in Youngstown. Oh, you're kidding me. I mean, did you see Ed O'Neill on TV? He was very, when you mentioned Ed O'Neill,
Yeah.
he was very upset that they named Bill Johnson. He did like a 10-minute thing. And he was sitting in his family room, fireplace, everything, beautiful setting. And up on the wall was a great big Warner Brothers emblem, one of those lights that was lit up, said Warner Brothers on the back. And, and it makes you feel, proud that people, from all walks, whether they're sports figures, whether they're opera singers, there's a lot of people whose heritage comes from Youngstown, Ohio, and, culture and everything. So it's sad, and the, it's something that we, if we don't emphasize, focus, and keep the pushing the train forward, it's going to be lost. Like everything, like cursive writing, like driving a manual shift. I mean, come on. I mean, we need to make all cars manual shift and write everything in cursive, and then people will learn, so they'll focus. But you also mentioned the sales tax, and I see our friend Jerry is here, and I know he's somebody that always is fair and impartial and does a great job, reporting the news. And, we got an opportunity to be at New Bethel Baptist Church for the Mobilization Coalition Forum the other night, Anthony and I. And, we focused on, just making sure people knew the facts about the sales tax. I mean, we had people running against us that say they backed they backed the police and they endorsed the police and this and that. And yet they talk about, we don't need, our sales tax is too high, we don't need it. But yet out of the 7.5%, only 1.5 goes to Mahoning County. And they're not complaining about the 5 3/4 that the state takes off us. They're only complaining about this one. And we get to vote on this. And we get to vote on it to show that we endorse and we approve of the way that the sheriff and that the justice tax is being spent in Mahoning County. Because everybody up here was part of making sure that we created the justice tax so that it was identified as such, so that, you didn't have any ambiguity of what was going to be spent for. It had to be spent for justice in Mahoning County, period. And so 0.75%, if we lose this, the impact statement is so unbelievable that if you lose the 0.75%, it doesn't put a glitch in county government. It literally shuts down justice, because it generates $31 million. And that is actually, it generates $39 million, and 31 million goes to the sheriff's department. 82%. So you're not going to take a bite out of the justice system. You're going to shut it down and literally you put the county would be in fiscal watch and under the state's control. And I think Anthony lived that story.
Talk about
So,
Yeah.
It's just something that it's irresponsible
When you got in.
for anyone, irresponsible for anyone to go out there and say they support law enforcement and they oppose the sales tax being renewed. And you get the opportunity to vote on it. And I'm telling you, never had a better sheriff's department, a better sheriff, a better force in our county than we have today. And 12 years ago, when we got here, their benefits were cut in half. Their staff was literally, skeletal, with respect to the pods being open. And Anthony went through a lot of painstaking, work in the early 2000s to try and make sure that moved in the right direction, as we all have to this day. So if you vote for nothing else, the sales tax is the most important thing for justice in Mahoning County. So
Dave's right, Carol's right. A lot of topics here. I'll cover them all. But Rose, I want you to know how much I respect you for what you do and what you've done in this valley. I taught at YSU for 11 years part-time. And one of the first Black philosophers that I was taught in my early sociology programs was Frederick Douglass. Without struggle, there can be no progress. And I truly believe that spans all racial colors and creeds, because that is so true. And the struggle continues. But one of the things that I saw at YSU when I was there was the fact that part-timers, I was part-time, they would dump us with like 150 students. Like I taught intro classes in criminal justice, business school, and juvenile delinquency. So they would put like 150 students in my class. And that was a lot of work, but I was young and I loved teaching up there. But whenever it came down to taking care of the part-timers, they ignored us. And they're still doing that today, but the majority of the classes were given to the part-time instructors. And you had to put a lot of work in. Try carrying 150 exams to and from the Barlow Hall all the way to Beagley, and back. So there's a lot of effort put in that instruction. And Dana's School of Music, I've been in and out of there many, many times. And I'm shocked, what Carol said, that they would even look at doing that, because you have like high school band programs that raise these musicians. Our churches raise the musicians. Some of the best musicians come from the Black churches. So if they want to go to school to get a music degree, they're not going to go to Juilliard, or they're not going to go to Guitar Center in California or GIT. They want to come here and stay in their hometown. So if they're shutting that down, I think that's something that Jerry, it should look into that. But I wanted to get back to the sales tax, not to belabor this anymore, but when I was elected, the sales tax in Mahoning County had failed twice. And I walked into a $15 million deficit. And it's like, oh, wow, Commissioner, what are you going to do now? And that's what it was. You had people that were for it, and there were people on the other side who wanted you to fail. Well, guess what? We persevered. We put a committee together. We got the sheriff, we got the deputies, and the deputies always worked their butts off to make sure that that tax is passed. And we did it. And we had to borrow $7.5 million on a sales tax anticipation note just to keep the jail running. And they put a special master in to tell us how to run the jail. And then they threatened us. If you don't get this situation resolved, if you don't get your sales tax passed, we're going to shut you down. That was Judge Polster in federal court. I had to go to Cleveland. I had to go to Akron. I had Judge Dowd in Akron, and then we had Polster in Cleveland. And believe me, Judge Polster said, if you are 1 minute late, and he used to make us be in his courtroom at 9 o'clock, all the way in the federal building up in Cleveland, don't bother coming in. I'm not letting you in. So there was a night that I just went up to Cleveland, got a hotel to make sure that I made it there, because the traffic was horrendous and it was during the winter time. So it was that type of situation. And he threatened us, if you don't do it, I'm going to shut you down, and then you can send your inmates to all the other county jails at triple the rate that what you pay in Mahoning County. See, that didn't make sense. So actually, we were getting a good bargain for what the county was paying for what the sales tax brought in to keep our inmates. So as Dave has said and Carol has said, and we strive so hard, this is the most important thing on the ballot, if you would ask me, for the survivability of our justice system in Mahoning County. Please consider voting for it. We're not imposing it. It's a 5-year renewal. It keeps fine deputies working, our fine police officers, our deputy sheriffs. It keeps our courts functioning, prosecutor. And unfortunately, we have bad actors in this community. They have to be locked up. Justice has to prevail. So without that, it would throw a wrench into this machine that the commissioners have built up so strong. Like Dave said, we have a fine sheriff. He runs a great program. We have good judges. But the cost of doing business with crime is exceedingly high. It's the largest part of our budget, and it requires the most out of the general fund. And with all the state cuts, thank God the taxpayers approved this the first time around that we were able to do this, and it kept our jail open. So very important to do that. And with that being said, I want to thank Rose again.
Thank you, Rose.
Yep, thank you.
You're stuck
More around the clock. All right, Nancy, our next meeting?
It's Thursday, regular.
Okay. Motion?
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Roll call?
Commissioner Ditzler?
Yes.
Commissioner Remedy Agati?
Yes.
Commissioner Trafficant?
Yes, thank you.